Hello, hello. This is Tanya of Talk with Tanya, Tanya J. Miller LLC. Y'all already know how we do. We do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose. And so we are jumping right in. Y'all know sis was sick for a minute. I'm not claiming sick. I'm just saying, my body catching up to me not being sick no more. But took the break off. But I loved what we were doing when we were having the virtual collab conversations during the pandemic. And with me being able to not drive, they won't let us drive, y'all. So as a result, I'm loving the fact that we are keeping the conversations going and I'm able to connect with so many of my sisters all around the country and the globe. So with that said, couple of my sisters are on right now. I'm more than confident I'm gonna get some bring-ins and add the other sisters along the way. But to get started, I'm gonna start with Lenicia.
Lencia.
Lindsay, I see pray my as my folks and my family say, charge it to my head, not my heart. Okay. I did not mean to get it wrong. But I want to start with you. Just give us who you are, what you're about, and the good so everybody can know how to connect. And we'll even do it at the end some more. But give us that, hop it up with Keeper and go from there. So
All right. All
Lindsay.
right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you, Tanya, for bringing us all together on this amazing topic. This is going to be wonderful tonight. I am
Yes.
so excited for it. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Lencia L. Marshall. I am the CEO and founder of Grind and Grace Experience. I am also I own Sisterhood Over Sabotage. That's another brand that I have. I got my Sisterhood Over Sabotage shirt on. So I'm definitely all about talking about sisterhood, but I'm also a coach and a consultant. And yeah, you guys can find me on at grindandgrace.info. Grind and Grace is everything on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. I'm excited. We have a retreat coming up in Dubai in October. So y'all, like, I'm just excited. I'm excited to be amongst royalty with the sisters. So yeah, that's pretty much
How
it.
how I get to be a speaker? I guess speaker.
I'm like, I need to roll with her.
Well, but this year,
We gonna work it out for next year.
amen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Miss Keever.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I have to follow that. Wow. I am Coach Kiva Lernice Murdoch. I am the CEO and founder of KLM Services Consulting and More, which is a coaching and consulting firm. We work with every woman who is just trying to build her business from the ground up. Sometimes we find that when you start a business, you're starting it more so as a hobby and have to backtrack, right? So we're here to definitely make sure that you have everything in place that you need to get your business on the right solid foot. I also have a one of the number one growing TV show and podcast in the land, Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. And we use that platform to elevate those that's in business that is looking for that vehicle to put them in front of the masses. So you can definitely find everything that I do on social media. If you look me up under by my name, Kiva Lernice Murdoch, you can learn about my natural hair care company. You can learn about my boutique and just everything that I have going on. So you can find me on all social media by my name, Kiva Lernice Murdoch, and you can find out more on our show, Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and Podcast. Just look me up under Kiva's Place, Google it. It'll pop up. We are on all digital platforms, and I'm just so excited to be here. Thank you, Tanya, for just the opportunity to be able to meet other powerful women. And like I stated before we went on live, this is going to be a very interesting conversation. So I am looking forward to not only be able to share what I know about this topic, but also I'm here to take notes. I'm a student tonight, so I'm excited to be here.
You better run your credit, sis.
Man, sis, I was
Character,
like,
it
ooh,
out.
oh, okay. Hey, brag on you.
That's what I'm talking about.
brag on you because I'm guarantee you, you got the blood, sweat, tears, prayers, all of that in between for what you got because you put in the work.
Yeah.
Because you now ready to teach others. So those that are her mentees and those that want to be, y'all better do all y'all need to get to the place where you trying to go by listening to this woman because she's not just talking. Don't be saying you want to come learn and ain't ready to learn. Okay, that was
Mhm.
my promo for you because you doing that as
Mhm.
well as you with the whole sisterhood over over
Sisterhood over
sabotage.
sabotage. Yep.
Yeah,
Sisterhood.
yeah. I feel like you gonna teach us all today. I feel like that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Miss Annelle, did I say it right? Am I saying it right? I don't want to say
No, it's all good. It's Anielle with an A. So
it.
Anielle.
Annelle. Okay.
Danielle, but with an A. Yes.
Oh, see, I learned it that fast. You hooked me up. Feel free to give us your intro. Let us know who you are, what you're about, all of that good stuff, and we'll keep it going. Keep the party going.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, Tanya, for having me. I say it right, Tanya?
Yes. No.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
y'all.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited about being a part of this conversation. So, my name is Anielle Timmons, and I am a motivational speaker and I am a life coach. And I am passionate about seeing other people rise to the level that God has called them to be. I help individuals create resilient and thriving mindsets, atmospheres, and lifestyles. And so I have a mental health background, former therapist. And so I'm just grateful to be here and I'm excited about getting into the subject.
Cool. Now, is that therapist, counselor therapist or physical therapist?
Yes. So counseling, I came from a background in counseling.
Oh yeah, this about to get real good tonight. Oh, okay. I'm preparing myself, y'all. Y'all better get ready. And then we have Miss Queen Fierce, and this is kind of a BCI Black Christian Influencers takeover with Kiever. Not to say you're not, in that, but we had a challenge to collaborate, and so four of the sisters on here are from BCI, and Miss Queen Fierce, who we introducing next, is the Detroit president, the chapter by Detroit chapters. She's the president. So without further ado, Miss Queen Fierce, feel free to tell us about you and who you are, what you about, why everybody needs to know, and then some. Because you got you a whole brother that's like Miss Keith and Miss Lissy as well, and Miss Angel. So come on to give us the good, sis.
Ladies, how y'all doing? I just listen. I love a room full of ladies. I love a room full of powerful ladies, especially. Okay, so like I'm lit right now. I was tired, but then I got on here. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't even remember being tired. So listen, you guys know I'm Detroit chapter president of Black Christian Influencers. I literally recently just accepted a position in domestic violence. That's pretty massive here. It's a $6 million project. So God is just good on that. So I am a mother of three. I'm a published author, speaker, public figure, philanthropist. And then I just recently officially launched because I was running for years social media management. But I actually just put it together, packaged. I do social media management as well as project management. And I'm a peace coach. So I'm just excited about what I'm able to contribute to the concept or to the conversation of friendship and what I'm able to learn because honestly, y'all, I'm in this phase where like I want to actually make sure I'm being a good friend, not just saying that. Because we can speak very highly of ourselves. But I really honestly I'm transparently, earnestly trying to make sure that I am an amazing friend so that I can have amazing friends as well. So I'm geeked about tonight, y'all. That's me. That's it.
That's it, child. That's a whole lot, and that's good and awesome, and it's great. And we're happy that you are here tonight, Miss Dion. You will round us out tonight with your intro and who you are and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna throw it to you.
Hi, ladies. Hey, Tanya. Thank you so much. This is like great. When I got the invitation, I was like, yes, hands down. So my name is Dion Watts Williams. I'm a Philadelphia native, born, raised. I'm just a Philly girl, East Coast. I am a brand messaging consultant and coach. And basically, what my passion is and my professional purpose is to help brilliant Black women really come out of the shadows, right? Whether it's in, business or career, with really identifying, honing in on their brand and being able to articulate it. And so what I've found, and that's another thing that just struck me with this conversation, with this topic, um, friendships and having, a village is something that a lot of my clients have struggled with. So this is just right on time. But I'm so happy to meet all you ladies. This is great.
Man, I didn't even know we was gonna be stacked like this, but we stacked, y'all. Oh my God. Like, oh, I didn't even know. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. So we gotta go on and dig in. And so with that and the topic, being sisterhood, the first kind of question I want to ask everybody, and this kind of be I just want to hear like quick hit. Um, how old were you when you had your first sister best friend? How old were you, and why did y'all become friends? And I'm gonna throw it back to Queen Fierce.
Of course. Y'all, my first best friend, I remember her name and everything. We still Facebook friends. We not friends for real now though, because she just doesn't fit my life. But kindergarten, we were 5 and we became friends because she never let me do anything alone. She just always checked on me. Even at 5, it was like, you got the answers? You got your graham crackers? You got juice too? I'm like, you kind of you cool, sis. I like you. I'm gonna stick by your side. And that was it. That was a wrap.
Okay. Miss Lynch, you?
I was in first grade. So my first friend, my first bestie, her name was Latoya Holloway. And we were in Girl Scouts together. We became friends because we went to the same school and she stayed across the street from us. And we were friends up until sixth grade when she passed away. So yeah, I remember my first bestie very much so, very much so.
You said sixth grade?
She passed away in sixth grade. She had a seizure in her sleep overnight. And yeah, so we had the best little 6 years of our life, right? The best 6 years of our life being best friends.
Now I'm going to ask you a question if you're okay.
Okay.
How did that change your friendships going forward?
It took me a long time to rebound because she was like essentially during that time, she was my only friend.
Okay.
I was raised in the South, and we both were dark skinned, and dark skin wasn't right skin, so we gravitated to each other. And so when she passed away, it was sort of kind of like I was in middle school by myself at that point, and it just took me a while to trust another person, and she knew things about me that a lot of people did not know. And I'll jump in there and say this, like I'm be transparent. When I was molested, I told her and
Hmm.
she told her mom and they told my mom. You get what I'm saying? So it just took me a while to rebound from that because when you are codependent on another individual for so long, like
Hmm.
they're your person. And so it took me a long time to before I got another person.
Gotcha. So that was your person. And Miss Queen Fields, you said she took care of you. And with her taking care of you, you knew she had to go on and come on and be up in your corner. I mean, on the
She
squad,
had to
because she
be
was
on
already in your corner. So you was like,
had to.
come on and join the squad because
Yep, squad.
you holding me down.
Yep, come on. That's what
Like
it was
four
though.
flats. That's what
Yes,
we say in
4
Texas.
flats,
Hold me
period.
down like four flats.
Yes.
That's how I gotta be. Miss Kiva, what about you? How old were you and how did it all get started?
Well, I may be a little different because I've had friends and acquaintances, but to be quite honest, I don't really think I had best friends, if that made sense, because me personally, I always had an issue with trust. So
Okay.
I never really let people get too close to me. So I will say my earliest memory of a friendship
Hmm.
was in elementary school. I would say it like that. But to consider them a best friend, I'm 44 and I really haven't had any like best friends like that, if that makes sense.
Now you told me you was married.
Yeah, I'm married.
I mean, he
Outside
is
of my
he.
husband
I'm
now,
like, is he a best
my
friend?
girlfriends,
So he made the squad.
yes, he
Okay,
did.
I was trying to make
There's
sure.
been there's been a couple more, but for whatever reasons, the relationship has fizzled out, or you know what I'm saying. But when I think of the term best friend, I think about your ride or die. Even if y'all agree to disagree, you can still have that bond and
Mhm.
that relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I just have not, and that's why I'm so excited about this conversation, because that's something that I feel like I've always lacked in my relationships for whatever reason. So yeah,
Now, do you have sisters,
I do
cousins
have
your
sisters.
age?
Yes. Uh-huh. Now my sister outside of family. Now,
No, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm like.
yes,
Okay, so
yes,
she got
yes.
some
My
sisters
sisters, my,
and some
cousins, those
first
are
cousins.
my ride or dies,
Yeah, that's
but
why I was like,
when I'm talking about
it's making sense now. It's making sense.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm talking about women outside of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that
Miss
makes
Angel, how about you?
Yes, so I don't remember my best friend name from first grade like some of you. So shout out to y'all, but I remember I moved a lot. I moved 19 times in my childhood, and times
Yeah,
were
I
just hard,
understand.
but it definitely helped me to be more social, be more assertive, and just be able to just kind of build friendships. I've been thankful to just be able to have friendships with women, really good relationships. But the earliest one I can think of is when I was in first grade. And this is when I realized that I was a clown and I was very goofy. Me and my best friend at the time got kicked out of class because my teacher, she was going over something. I don't remember what it was, but apparently I didn't think it was exciting or it wasn't interesting. So I let out this loud yawn, and my best friend at the time started laughing. And so she was like, "Hey, yo, you can get out." And she told my friends that you can go with her. And so that
Oh,
was the
okay.
first time I got kicked out of class.
So you weren't feeling nothing about what she was teaching that day. You was like,
I was like,
I
ah, and it was so obnoxious. Yeah.
oh
So
oh
yeah, the beginnings of my
yeah.
goofy days.
But see, I know you're not the only one with some of them best friends, them sister friends, them them sisters done got you in trouble and caught up, especially BC before Sage. I'm sure some we got some stories. So Miss Dion, I was like, what you saying? Yeah.
No, I just said absolutely. I can probably name a few other times I got kicked out with another best friend in middle school. So yeah,
So you
absolutely.
kept it going. You like first, you if you're gonna be
I
the
think
bestie, we got to get in trouble
you know what though? I heard someone say that your personality shows in your schooling, right? So I
together.
always had an assertive, outgoing, goofy, down to earth personality that didn't always align with the serious nature of my teachers, right? And so God knew that I was supposed to be a speaker and that I was supposed to inspire people and make them laugh and be goofy. That wasn't just my arena. You know what I'm saying? And certain teachers
Yeah,
liked it, but other teachers was like, "No, I'm not putting up with it." So, you know,
you was getting your chops early on. You
absolutely.
getting it practice. Practice makes perfect. You made sure you was perfected in that thing.
There you go.
Miss Dion, what
Hey,
about you?
I see a little bit of myself in Kiva and Aniel. So I also do not remember, at least not in like elementary school, maybe later in elementary school, towards middle school, having like a bestie.
Hmm.
Um, I think it just hit me. Like I don't think I had that in my early years.
Okay.
I do have I did develop friendships, over time, in high school, middle school. Um, I feel like some of them have, run their course. Some people I still keep in touch with, others not so much because of the whole like, all right, sis, you doing something that's not really like I'm a PK. So I'm like, I couldn't really roll with you like that. Like, no. Um, and even as recent as this year, I had a friendship kind of fizzle out. And I thought that was kind of odd because most of my friends I've been we've been rocking together for God knows how long. So yeah, it's been a series of, I guess seasonal friendships until my like later in adulthood when I was
Mhm.
like more established. And then also with the laughing, like I was a straight A student, but on that behavior side, it was all threes. Like one was like excellent behavior, three was like terrible. And my parents were like, how do you get straight A's? I'm like, I love to laugh. Like that is my teachers would say, yeah, Dion, I could hear you laughing in my classroom down the hall. Like that was just my thing. I was just always the jokester. But yeah, I am blessed to have, besties now. But wow, I hadn't even thought about that until you asked the question. So
Well, you already kind of hit on what next question. But before I get to my next question, did anybody have a comment they wanted to add or share to what one of the ladies said before I get to the next one?
Nothing other than I had all threes as well. It was just, it was just,
okay,
it
so it's
was
not just
like,
me. Okay.
they put a desk for me in the hallway. It got to the point where it's like, sis, you know that's your seat.
Not
Go,
in
go
the
ahead.
hallway.
Go ahead and
Uh,
get an
See,
A
but
on
you
that
you had
test
your
in the
you
hallway.
had your thought real early.
They were like, listen, hallway.
It's leadership
To the
skills.
street.
That's what it is. My daughter just turned 6, and her teacher last year in kindergarten is like, Avery is like brilliant. She knows the materials. She's way ahead of her, level, but she's a
Mhm.
little chatty. And I'm like, I don't see the problem. She's a leader. Like, why I'm not censoring. Yeah. And my parents did that with me after a while. It was like, you know what? She's just kind of chatty. That's
Mhm.
all. So of all the things that could be wrong, I guess,
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Well, I had a
Yeah.
rough because in elementary and middle school, my mom worked at the school. So the
Oh.
teachers
Oh,
knew that if there was ever an issue, and I was usually the one of the smarter ones. So after I was finishing my work, I would talk and disturb the class. And I would always get my mom a call to get a call to the classroom to talk to me. So yeah.
Well, at least she just could come handle it there. You didn't have to end up getting in trouble all the way. Like you didn't get, suspended, an in-house suspension. She just came in, as my mama would, she would pinch and she would hold it and then she would turn and it wasn't no more laughing because she was crying at that point. So wasn't no talking. Wasn't no talking, wasn't no laughing.
That's child's play. I ain't get pinched and twisted. I got beat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
My mama
she
signed
wasn't
me
zero to 100. It wasn't no in between.
She said,
My
no.
mom was the
signed me
type.
out of school, booked me, and then brought me back and signed me back in
Exactly.
for me to go back to class.
I
So
got
See, my
all of
mom
it.
would peek in the
Mhm.
window and let me know, like, I see you. And
Mhm.
if you keep up, wait till you get home. She wouldn't do it at the school.
nah,
Yeah.
she didn't want to get locked up.
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
I find it interesting with Kiva that she was saying like and I'm with Tanya because I was like, wait a minute, she ain't never where she live at where she ain't never had but you guys
I was like,
I, I'm the only girl. So
okay.
Me
I don't
too.
have any sisters and I live away from all of my like first cousins. And when
Hmm.
we were around each other, it was cool. But like that every day, I live like 4 hours away
Hmm.
from all of so it was for me gravitating towards somebody who was a friend. I remember that, right? But I guess if I had to grow up with sisters and stuff, I probably wouldn't remember nobody. But but
See, I'm
I
gonna tell you, like they told us, Kiva, you don't have no choice in them being your friend. They your
right,
family. Like when we used to get
right.
mad at each other, me and my cousins, we be like, I'm not your friend, no mama. And my mama or my auntie or whoever, or my granny. It don't matter if y'all no friends, y'all family. So get over it.
Mhm.
Ain't no gonna change. Friends, whatever, family, period. So figure that out. Y'all stop playing
Yes.
and acting like
And
y'all
that
ain't
is
friends no
so
more.
true. Because growing
Hey,
up in the South, and we actually moved around a lot too for several reasons,
mm,
um so all we really had was each other,
yeah.
right? And we changed schools quite a bit too once outside of once we got to high school it kind of settled down, but the schools that we went to my mom worked at, So it was a lot of moving around. So it was really kind of hard to really find that space to feel like you fit in with
Yeah,
peers outside of your family members. So yeah, it was a little bit challenging.
I can see that. So back to Dion. So
Mhm.
you kind of hit on it. So do you have your sisterhood, your tribe? Do you have just one bestie? Kind of what is your sisterhood of and families and I mean your family of friends? What does that
Mhm.
look like for you now?
I
From then to now, how does that look?
Right. I think over time I've learned to. I was such an introvert as a child, and that could have played a part of it. I was also well, I
Gonna
was
be an introvert and then you clowning.
look at God. I Because listen, when once I feel the room, then it's like okay. But
I feel you.
yeah, but I grew up with three older brothers, and I'm the baby
Okay.
girl.
Oh.
So then it was that like, oh, how do I don't know how to be a friend with females because I was a tomboy. It was just me and my brothers. But I do have besties now.
Mhm.
Some I talk to every single day. Others, because of life, we might go a few months without talking sometimes, or just talk on social media or by text. But when we do get together, it's like nothing ever happened, and I so
Peanut butter
value
and jelly.
those. Yeah. So between what's that?
I said like peanut butter and jelly.
Listen, my line sister, I don't only see her, and we live in the same city, and this is actually really horrible because we live in the same city. But like we see each other like 2 or 3 times a year, but we kick it and we have each other's like bag like nobody's business. Um, and then I have like my sister coaches. I was able to develop like really good relationships in the past couple of years, professionally that have really blossomed into like I talk to my sister coaches every single day on Boxer, probably more than I talk to my own family. So I think all of them serve, they all make up a really great village. Like everyone is, I don't judge anyone for like, oh, you don't check on me. Like life happens, man. I do my part to make sure I reach out and pick up like nothing left off. But no, our village is it's much better now. All of the relationships I've been able to develop. The family is a little bit different, and not in a bad way. It's just that with us being here, like my mother's from South Carolina, so you mentioned being from the South. My grandmother had 16 kids.
Oh God.
So
Okay.
my mother graduated high school, first thing smoking the Philly. And so her and my aunt were the only ones up here. So now that my mother's passed away, my father's passed away, and it's me and my siblings and a few of my cousins, we're all looking at each other like, we need to look, we all have young kids. Like we need to maybe look at relocating closer to where our family is because we're in that stage of life where it's like we need a village. Like it's hard, it's hard sometimes. I'm so appreciative that, I'm here, but it's like, oh yeah, especially when I look at my kids because they have slews of family members that they've never met. And I want them to feel that kind of village the way I had a village growing up. So it's kind of coming full circle, I think.
So let me ask you, because you said you had some siblings as in brothers.
Hmm.
So how, Lord, I'm scared to ask it.
No,
I,
listen, I grew up with brothers. There's
uh,
no question that
so
it's
do you have sister-in-laws and how are you guys like you said with not having ladies growing up, sisters growing up, how is that bond? How is that forged to not just have a brother but a sister that's family now? Like how for any that you have, how did you grow those
full
relationships
trans
in any like
full transparency. It was hard. Like I adore my sisters-in-law, both of them. Like they have become they are my sisters now. But in the beginning, when that whole leave and cleave, when you're trying to, come into a family, I was like, it was tough because you're getting to know that person the same way your sibling is.
mm-hmm.
My brother and sister-in-law met, I think in like January or February, and they were married by August. So there was no, oh, come around for Christmas or, it was none of that. It was like, oh, y'all getting married. Okay. fast forward 17 years later, they're still together, you know, and they are, when I talk about like the core of our village now, like I trust her with my kids, with my life, like that's my sister. But for full context, my I do have other siblings. I don't like to say half siblings. I
Mhm.
just that don't sit right. But I do have two other sisters and a brother. So my father was married before my mom, but my siblings are probably old enough to be my parents. So that's
Mhm.
kind of, you know, so I just never grew up in the same household with sisters. So that whole concept of sisterhood, and I had to learn that over the years, you know. So I love it now, but as a child, that was so foreign to me because you know, I communicated a certain way. Like you had to kind of turn up that feminine kind of energy, and you know, just the way I communicated all of that over time.
But that's good. The fact that you realize, because it's a song that
Yeah.
my mom and them used to love. And every time I heard it, I bust out laughing because I couldn't believe they made a song that was the words. And it says, "Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?" That's the whole song. And I used to laugh, but the fact is, many people, especially women, say, "I want friends, I want sisters," but they don't look at themselves to figure out,
Mhm.
well, you want it, but have you figured out why you can't? Like, have you looked to see, how do you show yourself friendly? Are you showing yourself friendly? And so the fact that you even own the fact that you said you had to learn to allow them into your life, the
Mhm.
feedback, the love, the everything, the fights. If you know,
Mhm.
that's good because not many will say, what do I need to do to be able to make this friendship, this sisterhood, this tribe what I need it to be. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some props, sis, because that was big. Um, Lincia, what about you?
Okay, I need you to repeat the question. I was all into Dion.
Basically, um, from the friendship we talked about in the beginning to your friendships, your sisterhoods, your tribe now, kind of what's the difference factor with them, and kind of maybe even what you've learned or what you've chosen to do as you have friendships, sisterhood, tribes now.
Okay, so someone else was talking about trust issues, right? Like not had, I have trust issues, period, across the board. Like I have trust issues for numerous reasons. So what from then to now, I told you guys it took me a while to let people in, to let females into that part of me, right? And I do have friends that I made in high school that I'm still friends with, like legit, like the Maradas. We about to go to Miami, you know what I'm saying, next month and have a great time. But over the years, I found out that a lot of people were seasonal in my life. But one of the problems was is like how Tanya, how you were saying about looking within ourselves. I wasn't transparent about what I needed out of the friendship. So it was easy for me to do it out because, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Like you did this or you said this. So, I got to go. Well, the reality of it is a lot of friendships ended because I did not tell them my love language. You know what I'm saying? Love languages aren't just for relationships, romantic relationships. It's for your friends as well. And so, like people would say things and it would injure me. And I came from a place where you don't speak up, right? Like every time you want to say something, you want to defend yourself, or you want to say something to stand up for yourself, people want to say you're combative, right? Like you the angry black woman, right? So I just started being quiet. And it was easier for me to end the friendship and keep on moving than to actually sit down and say and be vulnerable and say, okay, well, you hurt me, this, that, and the other. Because in my head, I felt like, oh, well, you should just know. You should know because I don't treat you like that. So you should just know. But I recently started doing something that went against the grain, right? Like I have an individual that was in my life and I cut her off. And everyone in my life knows, like, when I cut you off, I don't go back. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that proudly, but I'm saying, like, they know, like, okay, if she say the friendship over, it's over. And so I said, but you know what? It didn't have to be over. Like, it wasn't, she didn't try to sleep with my husband. She ain't, steal no money from me. It wasn't even nothing that big of a deal, right? Like, we should have been
Mhm.
able to talk our way through it. But I could not say to her, I'm hurt. I'm legit hurt by what you did. And I'm hurt by what you said. And so I think close to a year has gone by, and I sent her a text and I was like, yo, I love you. And I don't want you to not be in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to be clear in where it is and what this text message is about. I don't want us to try to move on and have this as something under the carpet that we trip over, right? I want our relationship to be real. I don't want it to be where either of us are thinking, okay, well, is she gonna go off? No, 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 no. Let's respect one another. Let's love one another, and let's be sisters. And she was receptive to it. But it taught me something though. Like, you can't just cut people off because of your own situations and your own, you know what I'm saying? We come up in our minds with all type of stories for other people, right? And well, she knew it hurt me. She didn't care because she didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, you got to look inside yourself, you know what I'm saying, to see what it is that you need, and then be transparent and tell another person. So if I've learned anything, I have learned to be vocal about what I need from my friendships, and be very transparent and upfront. Like, I'm not calling you every day. I'm not going to call you every day. I don't have time to call you every day. But when you need me, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? If you call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't care if I'm on three different electronic devices. If you call me and I'm in a coaching session and you need me, I'm there. But I'm still not going to call you every day. So, I learned to, be upfront and honest. And so now my relationships go a lot easier because my friends know me and I know them.
I feel like somebody might want to say something. Anybody want to say something back to that?
I will say, to Lincia's point about just being vocal, I think that's one thing I learned in my 20s, is that with women in relationships, you have to be assertive. You know what I mean? You have to be able to say, like, hey, this is my love language, or, if it comes up, or even, in the beginning, right? But be willing to have a conversation if your feelings get hurt, and say, like, hey, girl, like, I felt some type of way that I've been coming to all your events, all year. And then my one little birthday come up and you haven't came and you didn't even try. Like, I will say that to a friend. And
Yeah,
so,
it sounded like you have had that conversation. It
what
sounded
did
like
you
you
say?
had said that before. Like, you was real, like,
No, no, no. I'm a good actress. But no, in a sense that, like, I've had situations where I've showed up to people's events or something like that. It wasn't necessarily birthday, but I will say that to someone. I will say, like, hey, that hurt me when you said
yeah.
this, or, you're always calling me to get podcast information, and I'm always sharing your stuff. Why don't you share my stuff? Like, I don't feel like I'm supporting, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So being able to have those heart to hearts, but also if Danielle hurt somebody's feelings, I will say, you know what, girl, like, I honestly did not know. I did not know that bothered you. And I'm sorry, that's not my heart to hurt you in that way. And I think with women and friendships, and it's a great book by Dee Bernstein called Women and Friendships. And she talks about just how delicate women are in our relationships. So if you cross a woman or if you hurt them, you can't be like, because now early on, I wasn't always this way. I was kind of like, they say, play dead lizards kind of people. And then you got your porcupines, right? When you're under threat. And I'm a porcupine, I'm not no play dead, And so I had to learn that. I had to
Oh
learn
my
how
God.
to talk to women, you know what I mean? And how to be in relationship with a woman and not be offensive, or if I hurt them, to say, you know what, honey, I did not mean to. That wasn't my intentions. Because at my purest of my purest heart, I love all people, and I love my girlfriends. I love the people in my life, and so if I do hurt people, if I hurt someone that's close to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't mean to hurt you. And so I just think that in our relationships, especially Black women, we can't be prideful. We have to be able to say, like, hey, this hurt me, or I'm sorry that hurt you, my apologies, I will be mindful of how to move forward next time.
I think
Anybody else?
for me, yeah, I can definitely relate to both Anielle and Lincia because I am also the type of person, I would consider myself a great communicator. If something is not sitting right within my spirit, I have no problems communicating that and conveying that over. But the issue that I have found in my past friendships is that I have an issue when things are not reciprocated. And Yale just hit the nail right on the head. For me, if you are calling me for advice, if you are, inviting me to your functions, and if something comes up in my life and you were never available, that's a red flag for me, right? And in the past, I was very quick, and it's something I'm still learning and growing on. But if you cross me and if you proved yourself to be disloyal, because I am an extremely loyal friend, if I am your friend and if I use that word friend, you can count on me for anything. I'm there. I am your ride or die. I'm loyal. I'm trustworthy. You can tell me anything and it's not going anywhere. That's the type of person I am. So when I connect with other women, that's who I am looking for in return, because I believe that it should be reciprocated, right? And even if you don't need me the way I need you in that moment, something may occur where it's vice versa. So when I don't get that in return, and I feel like you're always taking, and never willing to be that giver, that's when I start to fall back. That's a that's an issue. And once, like, Lincia said, once I'm done with the relationship, I'm done. And I'm still learning how to get beyond that point. And luckily, having a marriage, you can't just be done when you say you were done, right?
Pass the plates. Class offering plates.
And being married for as long as we have been, and newly empty nesters, you have to go through that process of learning people all over again. And I have to be 100% transparent. I thought I was done with my marriage, and my husband's like, no, we're not. So I am working, I'm using this relationship to learn from that experience and working backwards, because that's something I never really forced myself to do. So yeah, I mean, it's a learning experience, and it's an area for growth for me that I am walking in every day.
That's what's up. That's that alone, the transparency you, Kiefer, and Yale, and then Dion that y'all just gave was grateful. I'm grateful that y'all said the things that you said and shared the experiences that you shared, because there's somebody that literally needed to hear what each of you just said. So thank y'all. I can tell you guys from firsthand experience, it's something about me and God. He don't let me be done. I be trying to be done, and it don't work. Literally, because uh, I flow in the office of the prophet, and so literally, I've been had a whole dream about somebody I ain't talked to in years, and I have to be like, I know we ain't talked. Um, you might not even like me right now, but you know how I am. I got to do my assignment because I don't want to be caught not doing what I'm supposed to do. And then I get blamed. So let me just say what I need to say or do what I need to do. And then you can go and keep not fooling with me after this. I'm good. As long as you let me fulfill my assignment. And so I can tell you, like, I done had to go to a funeral. We ain't even talking. I had to go to the funeral. I didn't see my mama because I was 1,000 miles away. And people be like, y'all, after she did, dang. And I was like, it ain't even about me. And so literally, y'all said if we cool, I didn't have to do it where we ain't cool. And I still had to answer the phone at 3 or do this or do that because my the spirit in me wouldn't allow me to, even if I wanted to. So I be like, I be right there with y'all. Like I be want to be done. I promise you, I be want to be done. But he be showing up real funny in that gift as a prophet. He be acting funny with me sometimes, and I don't get no play or no say. But I want to throw it to you, Queen Fierce, and tell me about the first one from the last one, your familyhood, your tribe, and all of that now.
We, ooh, ooh. So okay, so this is crazy for me because I lost my best friend last year, in June, and she happened to be my best friend, y'all. She was my big sister, and not I'm not talking about like she my half sister. She lived with her mama, same mama, same daddy, grew up in the same house, best friend, like my secret keeper. When I would go on a jog, I would be talking to her. If I'm cooking for Thanksgiving, I'm talking to her. If I'm getting kids ready for school, I'm talking to her. And I unexpectedly lost her after a extremely tumultuous last 2 years. I had strokes, major strokes. They left me unable to walk, talk, chew, or swallow. I had COVID at 7 months pregnant on bed rest with pneumonia. My husband left me with 3 kids. He was one of my friends. I thought, you know what I'm saying? And then my sister passed. So I lost my best friend, but um, I had the opportunity to watch friendship evolve in my life and what friendship meant to me and for me. So what I recognize is in my younger years, I kind of let whoever was cute to me or even a little bit funny be my friend. It was just like, if you cute, if you funny, or if you ever shared your snacks with me, we are now friends. Right? We're now friends. You don't have to sign nothing. You don't really have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't even got to do this all the time. You did it once. Cool. We friends. As I continue to mature in Christ and mature as a mother and as a friend, as a woman, um, my stuff started coming with requirements. Like, you have to earn this because I know, like my sister said, I know what I'm here to contribute. I know my value. I know I'm about to be, I am not calling you often, but I know that you're going to be taken care of. I am going to check in with you. Your children are going to be straight. I'm checking on your spirituality. I'm holding you accountable. Did you go for a walk? Listen, get off of that phone, get some work done. You drinking your water? You know what I'm saying? You got to give some of that back to me, just like my sister said. You got to reciprocate. You don't get to just be here. I'm working my butt off. You don't get to just be here. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. You don't get to just be here. So yeah, now there are requirements. You do have to earn this space. You do have to earn my attention, even as a friend. You gotta you gotta go through some stuff with me before I even say that we are friends. And on a greater level, a more indescribable, unimaginable level, because my sister was my best friend and I shared all of my life with her, all of my achievements, all of my excitements, all of my plans, all of my visions, all of every prophetic anything, God, I'm calling her girl. Guess what? Now I have no choice because I don't trust anybody. It took me years and years to trust her to that extent. Now I have to trust God. I've been forced to make God my best friend. Like, who knew? Who knew? He graced me to be able to do my sister's hair and makeup and wardrobe for her service. That's God. That's God, y'all. But it's almost like he didn't make that happen for that reason, but look what he did in it. So now when I'm jogging, I'm talking to God. Now when I'm at Walmart, I'm talking to God. Like, I'm back in his face. I'm on his head. Anytime anything happens, I'm like, God, did you see what you just did? You come on now. You are my excitement has gone from sharing that with my sister and pouring it into her. And honestly, y'all, she never really did anything with that excitement, to pouring it back into God and building an altar every single time he did something for my life. And so now my life is transformed because I changed my friends. My circle changed. That's what happens when, okay, y'all, I'm about to bye. Gotta go. Gotta go because I'm hot now. But that's what happens. Your circle changes, your atmosphere changes, everything about you changes, everything inside of you changes. And so friendship is one of the most significant like development parts of life. It's necessary. And for me personally, um I had the opportunity to grow up also with a lot of boys in the house. But what that did for me was I got to hear them talk to girls about other girls. So I was able to be a fly on the wall and I was picking up on everything. I didn't know I was listening to stuff. I didn't even care about it. But I recalled it later on in my life. It's like, oh, that's why she mad at her because she thinks she's jealous and she ain't even thinking about her. Because from what I heard, I'm like, can you put her on speaker? Because they confused and all they need to do is talk. And I learned at an early age by listening to my knucklehead brothers and cousins talk to girls and different kind of girls, all kind of girls, all kind of, okay, all kind of girls. I learned so much, but I didn't put it into play until like, I'm 34 now, maybe about 10 years ago. And it's just now starting to work for me because I'm actually working it. I'm becoming who I need from people. And so it's being mirrored back to me. And so yeah, I'm just grateful for that, y'all.
Say a lot, say a lot. Anybody want to add anything?
Okay, my short-term memory is really bad. I was trying to take notes while everybody was talking, so I'm gonna try to do it, hit it and quit it. Tanya, when you mentioned, like, wow, I don't even rock with this person. I haven't talked to them. We fell out. We are literally God's hands and feet. So when we do that, when we are the ones, because I do it, I'm getting chills just thinking about it, and I'm trying not to get emotional. With family even. Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm not texting. I'm not calling out, reaching out.
Hmm.
That is our that is a form of ministry. That's our way of showing how how good God is and how gracious He is. That's not us.
Hmm.
So when you said that, I was like, oh gosh, because that's me too. It's like, why am I thinking about this person? I don't want to. And so I'm glad that you were obedient to that. Um, Queen Fierce. So you said so much when you were speaking about your experience of, you know, getting closer to God as a result or through, loss. When I got COVID, top of last, no, wait, what is this? Top of 2021. And of course, with the pandemic, people were just dropping like flies. I mean, my church family it was just ridiculous. Everyone experienced, it was just devastating for everyone. I was sick. And I remember while I was sick, losing a close friend and colleague. Not from COVID. There was a organ failure and she couldn't get a bed at the hospital because of COVID. And I said, God, I can't take any more hits. If I really thought, and that when I was in that bedroom for 11 days, I was like, I'm losing my mind because you didn't have a chance to grieve one person before something else happens. And then I'm like, I'm healthy. I'm like 44. I jog like 4 days a week, eat well. Like, and COVID was giving me a run for my money. And I'm like, okay, I started negotiating. If you let me out of this, I promise, you know how it goes. And I remember saying to him, I can't take another hit. If I take another loss, my husband and children are going to come see me. It's a mental institution nearby, like up at the hospital. Like I'm about to lose it. It was just so much. A month later, my mother passed away. And I'm like, okay. And he does those things so that you can get closer to him and really be strong in him. We can't do this thing called life. And yes, he places people, in our path, but there's no way I would have survived 2021. I don't even know I don't even know how to articulate it. There's no way I would have done that without God. And he's like, you're telling me what you can't take. I'm going to show you what you can do with me. So that was when you were sharing that. I was like, I have to share because that was my experience. That brought me so much closer to him, and in a crazy kind of way. I know my mother was like, yes, like even in her passing, and it's just weird. I could go into a whole bunch of details, but like I feel like she knew that that was the time that I needed that to happen, because if that didn't happen, I don't know where my relationship would be with God. So I just wanted to say that I had to touch on those two points. So it was bubbling up in me, and I had to share that. So thank you for sharing your experience too.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. God bless you.
God bless you.
I'm gonna pass it to Anielle, but I will say this. So I think it was 2020. I think 2020, 2019, one of them. I can't remember. Um, my big sister passed away, and I was like, "Girl, now you knew you what you was doing, but why you just didn't tell me straight up?" Like I'm having a whole conversation with her. She ain't even here. I said, "You know what she was doing because she had me helping her with her businesses and doing some strategy sessions. And I kept asking her, why you trying to do everything all at once? Like, give yourself some time because she um had rang the bell that they told her her breast cancer was gone. Come to find out, it wasn't. The one spot that was on her kidney, on the back side of it, was fully metastasized by the time she had passed away. But they didn't figure this out till like 6 months to a year before she passed. But y'all told her 2, 3 years before that it was gone, right? And so I'm like, you knew what you was doing. Like I'm talking to her, like you think you slick. And then in the midst of that, like you said, you got your sister ready. My niece is she's a prophetic psalmist, so she sung, and then I had to speak on behalf of the family, and I'm like, ooh, okay. I don't know how much I'm able to keep it together because I got to make sure my baby good. So I'm like, I gotta make sure my baby good because my baby, she was my first baby. So we 999, we 9 years apart, and so my sister and my birthday is a day apart, and then my niece's birthday is like a week or so before our birthday. And so everybody would always say we was twins. I was my sister's twin, my niece my twin, right? And so it was like my twin, I can figure them out knowing good and well we not twins, literally, because we 9 years apart. But I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I had to figure it out. And so in the midst of me talking to God, I was in the midst of me talking to her, I was really talking to God to get me through it. And so I'm gonna say this because our therapist is about to get the mic. And so you said, Dion, you thought you was gonna have to go. Well, sis did. I did outpatient because I did. I was done because between my sister passing and my granny passing, and this was before COVID, y'all. We had about 10 to 15 people that was blood people, relatives. Then on top of that, we had close friends, like they mama may have passed or they brother. And so I was done. So by the time my granny passed, y'all, I was done. And so I went on to let me check myself in because I know it's not okay. And so I said that for any sister that might be dealing with any loss, whether it's family, whether it's marriage, whether it's kids, whether it's finances, don't be afraid to tell your tribe, your family, your community, your sisterhood, or your neighborhood therapist that you need help because we not, we ought not be the ones that always take the burden and the shoulder, but don't check on and take care of ourselves first. That's why so many of us are sick with everything in between. Is because sometimes we put ourselves on the back burner. So, sis, if that's you, put yourself on the front. Call the therapist just like you go for your women's, your well woman, your aunt, your whatever you call it. Go on and get you a check in with your neighborhood therapist because you might want to make sure that your mind right and state right. That's my service commercial. I'm throwing it to my sis and yeah.
Yes.
What's your
Yes, to
what
removing the
it look like now?
stigma around mental health. Yes, I am all about therapy, medication if you need it, because both together can be very helpful. Medication, Jesus, or therapy. And whatever you feel like your lane is and God has called you to need as far as mental health treatment. Because I think a lot of times we'll talk about one and not the other, right? Because some people have extreme mental health disorders where they might need some medication. Not saying run to it. Some people might need to talk to a therapist. Some people might need to just get in a support group, or whatever that need is, definitely
Mhm.
seek treatment, because it is a strength. It is not a weakness. And identifying that you got a problem is beautiful, in that you can then move forward and know how to reach out to different people for that support. So Queen Fear said something that I thought was so good. She said that, I believe, I'm going to quote it from what I remember, is that I'm becoming the friend that I want. And I love that, because I didn't see friendship conducted in a healthy way. When I saw friendship growing up, they were very short, or I know, like, what I saw was like short-term relationships, or people coming back in your life and then leaving. And then I also saw very explosive relationships. And so it wasn't in my early 20s, and even in my throughout my 20s, it really was kind of me learning how to be a friend, and me learning how to navigate expectations and relationships. And so, even as an adult, I think that's so important, because sometimes we can meet people, or we have these relationships, and we expect too much out of a person. You expect them to give you your love language, how you want to receive it, or you expect them to always answer the phone, or when you're in crisis, to always be that. And I think we have to be mindful that no one's ever going to be our all and all be all, right? And it's really God's job to fill those shoes. And then, of course, if you get the opportunity with your friend, just to kind of like, hey, girl, I need you. Hey, do you want to go out to lunch? And kind of reaching out, because a lot of people, they just don't know what's really going on with you. You know what I mean? And so even now, I've met amazing women this year. Like, I have a fitness buddy I work out with every Wednesday, and it's just really great, because we can work out, we can talk about life, we can talk about business. And I even have another friend that I see every other month, and I have another friend that I schedule with. I schedule our lunch time, so that we can go out every Saturday and get lunch together. But I think that now where I'm at is, I've put so much into myself. I spend time with myself. I spend time with God. I have moments where I just sit with God in silence. And I'm always reading. I'm always growing. I even study relationships. And so I've put so much into myself that I now know how to the best of my ability, let me say that, because I'm no Jesus. But I feel like I'm capable of being a safe friend for someone, and that I'm not expecting too much out of them. I'm not abusing the relationship, or I'm not leaving a relationship prematurely before I, discuss a conflict. So I love what Queen Fear said. And as far as my relationships go, I moved a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really get to form these bestie relationships with people, but I've just been blessed to have so many, I guess you can say, superstars, and seasonal superstars, I guess you can say, where when I was going through a crisis, God blessed me with someone to show up for me. Now, again, I have friends. I can't say I have a best friend. My boyfriend's phenomenal. He's my photographer. He's my web designer. He's my content director. He's amazing, and he's been so supportive of me. But I've just been very blessed to just have really solid friendships that, we don't talk every day, but they're still good people. So
Can I just jump in, because I want to say something about uh like friendships and the reciprocating, right? Um and pretty much for years I thought, well, you got to give me the same level of energy that I give you. You got to give me what I give to you. And what I learned was that people serve different purposes in our lives, and more specifically with sisterhood and our friends, whether they're a bestie or a solid friend, like Anielle was saying. People serve different capacities, right? And so, like, I have friends that it used to be where I made people, and this is, look, Queen Fierce, this is, I didn't even know who I was, and I was making people earn their way to be my friend, right? But I switched over, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna give you all of me up front. I give you all of me up front. You have access to me up front. 100% transparency up front. When you mess it up, then you messed it up. It's not the same thing as me saying, okay, you got to earn your way to be here, and we tiptoeing around different stuff. Now I give it all to you up front. And so in giving it all up front, I know what I'm giving to another individual. And we're talking about, being good friends and, wanting good friends, right? So in that, I understand that I have one friend that if something happens and I'm in a financial crisis, I know I can call that friend, right? Like I know I can call that friend. If something happens and my mental health is not okay, I have a friend that I can call. But that's not the same friend that I would necessarily call if I'm in a financial crisis, right? I have another friend that I don't care if I say I need prayer, she probably not gonna ever show up to any event that I have, but she gonna be able to pray. You know what I'm saying? On as soon as I call her. If something happens with my kids at school, I got somebody else I can call, but that's not, you know what I'm saying, necessarily the same person that I can call to pray for me. So, in the reciprocating of the relationships, I know for me, I can be all of that in one for a person, right? But I'm the exception, not the rule. I feel like a lot of us that's on here right now, we are the exception, we're not the rule. And so, when it comes down to having friendships with other women, we have to understand that other women may not have reached where we are right now in our mental health and knowing who we are and becoming the greatest version of ourselves. So we have to meet them where they're at. Or we'll do like Angel was talking about, prematurely leaving a relationship, when a lot of times our friends are looking at us and we looking at them like, I got friends and I'm like, oh girl, I can't wait to grow up and be like you. But then there's another friend that's looking at me saying the same thing. So we all arrive at different points in our life. And I think this we have to put people in their right box, right? Like put them in their right box. My friend that can help me with my mental health isn't any less of an impact in my life as a person that will go pick up my kids from school if something major is happening at school. So I have to put them in their right box. At the same time, you know what I'm saying? When they start to elevate, then more expectations are put out there, right? Like when I see that my friend who pick up my kids from school, when I see, oh girl, you read your Bible, you okay, you got relationship, you done came out of religion and you in relationship now. Let's go. Let's start praying on the phone with one another. So it's about helping each other grow. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned with this. That's why I have sisterhood over sabotage. You know, it's easy to say, you know, talk about each other negatively and, you know, pulling each other down. That's easy. Sisterhood is hard because as Black women, we at the bottom. We are at the bottom of the barrel as it comes to how people respect, how society respects us. We're at the bottom of the barrel. So it's hard for us to open up to another woman and say, well, you know what, I'm gonna give you everything and then, you know, then trust that you're gonna handle me correctly. Nah. And we have to be honest with ourselves. We don't drop people just like people done dropped us. You get what I'm saying? Like, give people the same grace that you want to be given. And so, yeah, I still got trust issues, Keever. I still have trust issues. Okay, but I give all of myself in the beginning. But I also surrounded myself with people who can actually discern and pray for me and cover me too. I have friends that'll be like, yeah, no, no, not that one. Not that one. And of course, I ignore them and I keep on going. And then when something bad happens, they be like, I told you. But I was like, I had to find out for myself. But it teaches me who in my life that I can trust their word and their prophetic voice with covering me. So yeah, yeah, it's real out here in these streets. But I listen, I want to be everybody's friend. I want because I like lunch, I like dinner, I like going on vacation.
Great,
You know what I'm
great,
saying? I listen, I want to be everybody's friend.
I
Let's
love it for you. Listen, I love it for I'm big, but I agree. I just believe that the reciprocity it evolves. My expectations are not that you could be, you know what I'm saying, not ever for not even for me. Cuz I'm
right.
like I'm steadily, growing, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Put people in their spots. That's where they do the best work. What you good at? Do
That's
that.
it.
God
That's
bless
Exactly, exactly. Yes. And then on top of that, I mean, people are in your life for two reasons, either for a reason or a season. So it's really important to recognize what they bring into your circle. And I don't know about you ladies, but the older I get, the smaller my circle, my intimate circle is
you.
getting. I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm a rehab director, I'm a physical therapist assistant. So I wear a lot of hats, but when I bring you into my inner circle, that's something that I cultivate all of those relationships differently than what I do with my outside of that circle. So it's really important to really understand what everybody brings to the table. And just like Lincia said, and just cultivate those relationships based on what they can offer, because it's not fair to put more expectation on an individual than they have either the ability or the capability to give, because then you're going to be upset when that relationship does not work out in the way that you have this vision of it working out. So yeah, I have definitely learned that you have to really um, meet people where they are, if that makes sense, and love them, and allow them to grow in their own sense of growth, where you aren't pushing them away by being too needy, or yeah. So if I've learned anything, and all of you have really, I just thoroughly enjoyed all of the perspectives and the conversations tonight, because I see myself in every last one of you. So this has been amazing.
Yeah, I was just gonna add two things, and I want to make sure, Kiva, you're my last person. Has
Pardon?
everybody talked on this question? Okay, I think you're my last. Okay. Um, so when I was telling y'all about my sister that passed away, a big sister stepped right in, like right in. I don't even think she realized the magnitude of what she did. And it wasn't that long ago, I texted, and because I'm sick, I don't write text. I send an audio message as a text. And so I sent her this message, and she was like, "You don't know what that meant to me." I was like, "Well, you don't know what that meant to me." I was like, "Cause I literally know you saved my life." I said, "Because if you wouldn't have came in, I may not be here today." And she was like, "You giving me chills." I was like, "No, I'm serious," because my sister was sick, but no one knew she was just to pass away. Just like I had just so much stuff, and she stepped right in. And anything that I would have went to my big sister about, talked about, prayed about, anything, she was there. She literally dropped everything. And I told her just the other day how grateful I was to her, because if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be. And the other thing I was going to add is kind of how both you, Lindsay, and Keever, and I think all the ladies have shared just about realizing as you've gotten older, um, what friendship means, but also what your role is in a friendship. And for me, being sick, Eric's like, "Well, you probably could have had friends help out, a family." And I was like, "No, because not everybody can handle this. Not everybody can see me and see what I go through and handle it." And so when y'all was talking about that, um, what each friendship means, or what you put on them because you can handle them, they can handle Lindsay. It was very much how I think about, you know, in my differently able state that I'm in, is that I don't put expectations on people, whether they my sis, my friends, my cousins, my family, my mom, because I know not everybody can handle this. So I allow them to take whatever space they want in this journey. And so that may mean I may not see you in a while. Well, you can't handle it. And I'm not mad at you because you can't. I love you and I know you love me. And I respect where we at right now, because that's just where we at, but it doesn't change my love. And so as y'all are talking, that's what I can say just overall in my friendships, my sisterhood, my tribe, just everything, that it literally doesn't matter what is going on. Where we're at is where we're supposed to be at for that time and that season and that reason, as you said, Kiva. But I know whatever it is, I'm going to do whatever it is my role is in the friendship. Because, like you said, some of those friendships are uh, actually mentee situations. They really are little sis. They really they're mentee. Some of them are, the awakening to them finally listening to you and hiring you as a consultant keeper. Some of them, are just willing to just come alongside you and support whatever you're doing, because they just want to show you how much you love and mean to them, as both you, Dion, and Queen Fear said. So y'all definitely brought the meat today, and we ain't even done yet. We got at least one more comment, and then I'm gonna ask y'all one more question. We could go from there. But Kiva, tell us then now, friendships, sisters, the real blood sisters, all of that. How is it for you now?
It's really has been a moment of growth for me because like I stated earlier, growing up, I really didn't cultivate or had the know how to really cultivate those relationships. But now as I have grown older, I have had the experience to love people. I've had the experience to grow with individuals. I had the experience of losing people and also gaining people. So I really value friendships and sisterhood. That really means a lot to me. And in everything that I do, I make it a point to make sure that we are empowering each other, especially as Black women, because, I mean, I don't know how it was for you all, but growing up, I mean, I kind of felt like there wasn't that cohesiveness among us. There wasn't that, I felt like I was supported by my sister that was near me. I almost felt like it was always a realm of competition. So
Mm,
it really took really changing that mindset and really looking at my sister as the queen that we can really put resources together, that we can learn, have those learned experience, we can grow and share together. And that took a lot for me because as I stated earlier, I struggled with trust issues, and
mm,
I was one of the ones where I kept people at a distance, until I felt comfortable because I knew me. I know Kiever, and I know that I bring what I bring. I bring all of me. I'm 100% transparent. I don't hide anything. I don't lie about anything. What you see is what you get, right? And not everybody could handle that. So I definitely have learned how to, respect people where they are, love them where they are, and just allow them to be who they can be in that moment. And if those friendships dissolve, that's okay because we should be in that position to where we can take every relationship that we've encountered. It should be something that we are learning and growing from anyway. So, I've really, learned to just hold those close people to me. I can't really still say to this day where I have a female best friend. I just can't say that. But I do have females that are friends. So, and that's important because I do believe that we need those friends. We need those people that if something's going on, we can call on and vice versa. But yeah, I have really learned to just allow people to be who they are and learn from every relationship that I've had the honor to be in. But if it's time to move on, I've also learned how to let those relationships dissolve. So,
a base and a bound. That was real perfect. I know. Ladies, wow, y'all have brought it. Danielle, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Dion, and then I said, Danielle, any last words, any thoughts?
I think I definitely can relate to everything you guys said, and even just going off of what Keeper said, just kind of being open and willing to just let people organically take their role in your life. I think that's where I'm at. And I'm just open to love. You know what I mean? Kind of like what Lincia said about I want to be everybody's friend. I know that that's my true nature and I stay authentic to who I am. So even when I go into new circles and people may be judgmental, or they may be legalistic, or just kind of uptight. I know who I am. I know who I am in Christ. I know that at my hearts of heart, God knows who I am. He knows that my heart is pure. It's gold, and that I won't do nobody wrong. Like, I'm so ethical. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom instilled it within me. And even when I remember one time I cussed to a mystical song, and my brother was like, "Ooh, you gotta call and tell mama." And I picked up the phone. Mom, I cussed to this mystical song. I'm sorry. And that's just who I am. Even now, like, I have this pure heart that I want to do right by people. And not only that, but now I have the Holy Spirit, right? And so, because I worked on my self-esteem, because I've really grown to know and love myself, I don't put too many expectations on people. And when I show up in a room, I show up with such confidence that I'm open to the people God has called to be in my life. And if they are hesitant or reluctant, it is what it is, because I know who I am. I know where I stand. I know the power and what I have to offer. That if they don't want to be friends with me, that is okay. And so I think that that's just where I'm at, is I just let relationships bloom organically, and I nurture the ones that are in my life. And if I come into a circle and people aren't receptive, I love you, say that in my spirit, and it is what it is.
I love that authenticity. Really, that's not many are able to be just so confident in who they are that who sis is over there won't bother them, and she won't talk about it at the same time. That's just, like you said, that's golden, and it's something I wish we all could, be able to shine as bright a light as you do. And yeah, seriously, Dion, any last words, any thoughts?
I was just letting Aniel's words kind of, sit. I'm a recovering control freak. So yeah, I had to stop keeping tabs on who. There's such freedom, and this is not just in France. This is any area of my life. I'm just like, my God, how come I didn't like get this earlier? There's such freedom in just, and I know it's hard, especially as Black women, in just going with the flow. But I get it because we have been conditioned to be, a little more guarded. Um, but what I've also realized is that God's got me, just like she said. Like, I'm gonna be all right. Like, it actually takes less energy, and I'm even seeing how it's affecting me mentally and emotionally. Like, okay, that's one less thing. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to be me, and if they're around, that's great. If not, that's great as well. Godspeed. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm showing up authentically and in a way that He's pleased. And so I had to let that stuff go, and that's really been my mantra, for the past couple of years through all the craziness that's been this pandemic. Is I am so over the what ifs and, oh, what about, like, I can't, I literally can't dedicate any more energy to that, and it's such a good feeling. So even in friendships.
Y'all, this is just beautiful, y'all. Okay. Woo. Kiva, any last words, thoughts, comments?
Yes, I have enjoyed just conversing with all of you ladies, and I am going to actually challenge myself. I'm going to give myself a challenge to just be open to more new relationships. I am going to challenge myself to not be so guarded, and I'm going to challenge myself to just, allow those relationships to just continue to grow and blossom authentically. So, yeah, I think that is this has definitely been a great conversation, and I have learned from each and every one of you about friendships. So yeah, I really wanted to just make it a point and to just speak to the other women that may be struggling with growing those authentic friendships, is to just allow yourself some grace. Just continue to be who you are authentically and unapologetically, and to just be open to just receiving those authentic, loving friendships. Because, like I stated earlier, it's something that we all need. We need each other. I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are, how strong you think you are. Something in life is going to bring you to your knees, and you need your sisters. You need a support system, and you don't want to find yourself, in an area where you don't have anybody. We will always have God. We will always have his strength and his love to, lean on, but we also need each other. So that's going to be my challenge.
Well, any other ladies that need that same challenge, y'all go on and do it and tell us how you did. Go on and take that challenge. And if y'all need us to be accountability partners, just let us know. Take the challenge if you need it.
Definitely
Queen
hold me
Fierce.
accountable.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yes. Queen Fierce. Last comments, thoughts, words.
Yes, this was beautiful. I've definitely been enlightened, and I always love to hear perspectives of different women, on topics about women. It's just dope. For me, I will say that this was kind of wild, y'all. I almost lost a friend because they wanted to be in a spot that they didn't have the capacity for. In my grief over the last 2 years, it was like, you know yourself, you know who you are, what you need, if you're coming into the knowledge of it, right? And I know me, I can't be smothered, right? And in my grief, it was like she was on me, y'all. She was on me, and I got to do something for you. Let me cook. Well, cooking is actually a release for me. I don't need anybody to cook. Cooking helps me. Well, can I do this? It was like, no, I actually need somebody to help me with the kids. It's like, I'm too busy for that. It's like, well, don't keep saying, do you need anything? So, you know what I mean? And so just in my final words, I just want to say we have to be, so aware of where we are so that we can, know what we're able to give and what we're able to receive. And yeah, friendship is beautiful. You do not need 10. Get you a couple, for the friends that are listening and they trying to, figure out where to start with this. Pray for divine connections. I also operate in the prophetic office, and it's like God be having us on bolts and chains. Am I right, sis? It's like you can't just go out and be everybody's friend because he's talking to you so much. Okay, and it's heavy. You don't get to be around. And so in our, in everybody's, pray for divine connections because he will send you your people that you need for every phase and every situation, every detail of your life and your children. It's not, your friends are not just for you, they're for your kids too. So keep that in mind. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I'm a whole bunch of aunties. I done lost count how many nieces and nephews I got. Like and God children. I say we everybody's. I don't know. We love the kids. That's how my husband like, who this gift for? It's for such a we got there. We love the kids and definitely as individuals that do not have children, um, we know that our friendships are different with those that do because you know, it's just a different lifestyle. It's not bad or anything. It's just different. And so as a result of that, me as a sister, I be like, you good, sis? Like you ain't got to worry about coming over here. They like, we need to go somewhere, we need to catch up. I be like, I mean, if you just need you a moment for me, that's the thing me and my sis had together with ladies. I was like, if you just need a moment for me, that's cool. I was like, well, you got to worry about me. I'm straight. They were like, you good? You sure? I'm like, yeah, yeah. I can't watch the kids for you no more. So, you need me to go pay for your nails or something. Like, I'm good. And so, I agree definitely, Queen, with that is that you have to realize that, you know, especially those friendships where you do make them godparents. Some of us need to update their wills and their documentation because you ain't even friends with that person no more. You got them on paper as your children,
Not paper.
your kids' godparents, and that's where you got to go into. Check, update your paperwork. I said all that to say update your paperwork. Okay, update them papers. Don't leave that. You might need to evaluate it every 4 years. Okay. Miss Lincia, any final words, comments, thoughts?
So, first of all, this has been an absolutely wonderful conversation. All of you ladies are absolutely amazing. And I would just implore every woman, doesn't matter if you're a black woman, white woman, purple, or blue, okay? Um, to the friend, and Queen Fear said something. She's becoming the friend that she wants. Just understand that um whew, you got to be open, like Kiva was saying. And I wrote a book, The 21-Day Purpose Guide for the Strong Friend, right? Because as strong women, we are so used to people needing us that we run away from people who are trying to help us when we are in need, right? And so stay open to those people that will come be. And I say this, I need a me for me, right? But then I have to be open when that me for me arrives and be vulnerable to that and not run away from it, not be strong and say, I got this, not be strong and say, I'm okay when I'm not okay. And just be open and vulnerable to that. So yeah, this has been absolutely amazing. As women, we have to learn how to lift each other up and consistently do that. And even when we run into people who or women who actually do us wrong, like Kiva says, cross us, whatever the case may be, right? Like whatever it is, we still have to love them. We still have to pray for them because we didn't always have it together. We are becoming the better version of ourselves, but we've not always been this person. And so in that, you that's why it's so imperative that we not cut off the rose bush before it blooms or it buds, because a lot of times there's some pruning that needs to be done, but you can't cut the rose bush from the root because then it kills the entire bush. And so even when these women are going here and doing this and doing this, we still have to be the example. We still have to cultivate them. We still have to love them through, because if we don't, who will? If we aren't holding each other accountable and we aren't lifting each other up, who will? Who can we depend on? You get me? So, who's the black woman for the black woman?
Hmm. That might be
So,
your next book.
you know what I'm saying? Like they say,
Might be
who
your next
listens to
book.
the minister, but who is the black woman for the black woman? So
Mm,
we have to just, lean into that and continue to love and pray for each other and just lift each other up. So yeah, that's all I got. And it's been amazing with you ladies. And nice to have met all of you all. Yeah, and I'm a stalker. I'm going to friend all of you on social media. Um,
Already did it. Don't worry about it. Already followed
oh,
everybody.
I thought Kiva was going to say it with her challenge, but she ain't say it. So I was like, I ain't want to be a creep, but I'm going to definitely friend all of
I was
you.
gonna do it anyway. So
'Cause I mean, legit, I'm all about, what I'm saying, global friendship. So let's go. Let's do it.
absolutely. You ladies have been dynamic. Like, I don't know, this my topic. We done did five. This the sixth one. This might top the other ones. I don't know, but Cheever, let us know. Let everyone know how they can contact you, website, what you might got coming out, book, conference, whatever. Let us know all your details. Because they
awesome.
can get their pen and paper so they can stay up.
Reaching me is very easy. Just look me up on Facebook and Instagram, Kiva Lernice Murdaugh. Usually I have links to all of my other business pages right there. So if you just find me under Kiva Lernice Murdaugh, you can easily get to the show, the boutique, everything that I have going on. I do have two anthology projects coming out very, very soon as one of the co-authors. So I'm so excited about that. So you will definitely be seeing, matter of fact, on my Facebook page, you can actually pre purchase the book It's CEO. It's a book about affirmations for CEO women that is on the move. So it's a wonderful book. There's about 25 other co-authors in that book, and they're really dropping some powerful points and nuggets and strong affirmations that women can literally pick up the book and just apply it immediately into their personal lives and business. So I'm so excited about that. And I also have another book project coming out with Jacqueline Kabai Harrison. I'm so excited to be a part of this book project as well. We don't have the release date just yet, but it is coming very soon. So stay tuned.
Okay, sis. Okay. Keep it doing it. Miss Anya, how can they get with you and what you got going on? We want to support.
Absolutely. So you guys can go to Google and just type in Anielle Timmons, or you can go to anielletimmons.com and you will find my social media on there. I have some e-courses. I have a confidence e-course where I give you the blueprint on how I develop my confidence. Now, came from background of trauma, low self-esteem. I got a mentor who told me at the age of 19, hey, you got low self-esteem. You might want to fix it while you're young. And so I give you everything that I have applied to my life and that I even used to teach in therapy. You get that in the e-course, the Ultimate Confidence and Self-Esteem e-course. I also have a trauma e-course. And again, you can find me on Facebook, Anielle Timmons, and on Instagram and TikTok at I am Anielle, at I am Anielle.
I love it. I love it. And you say the boyfriend did these pictures? Girl, he good.
Yes, my boyfriend is
He good.
amazing, y'all. He does my presentation slides, he does the photos, he does my graphics. So he prays with me. He's phenomenal.
Okay, okay. They say he that findeth a wife found a good thing. Hmm. Okay.
Definitely husband
Okay.
material.
Absolutely. Iron sharpens iron. So we're definitely, God knew what he was doing.
This Queen, yes. Let us know.
Does he have a brother? You say he does everything. That sounds like my list, sis. No. So, so listen, you guys, you can follow me. I'm Queen Fierce. It's just like it sounds. QUEENFIERCE _. Or you can go to my website. It's wewantqueenfierce.com. Like we want Queen Fierce. Yes, just like that. All of my stuff is on there. What do I have coming up? My podcast launches next month. It's called Pass the Plate. Mind, body, and soul food, good conversation. It's incredible. My daughter is my first guest. She's 13, my oldest actually, and yeah, it's a litty conversation. That's gonna be incredible. And if you guys are in my city by chance, just follow me. You know, I got stuff going on all the time in the community. I'm in runway shows. I'm doing all kind of stuff for all kind of great people. So yeah, just keep in touch with me. And you ladies, I would love, yes, to keep in touch with you guys and connect, please, because there's much kingdom work that we have to do. So yeah, let's get to it.
And if y'all didn't catch it, Queen Fierce is in Detroit. She is the Detroit president chapter of Black Christian Influencers, an organization that we most of us on here are part of, and that's how we connected. So if you Black, you Christian, and you an influencer, come on over because that's what we are about, and we would love to have you a part of it as well. Miss Dion, let us know.
Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. I'm just like sitting looking at my screen, like, y'all are just so sharp. I love it. I love how we all just were able to come together. So, to connect with me, my web address is workwithdion, like Warwick, DIONNE.com. You can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Work with Dion. I am the LinkedIn queen. So 9 times out of 10, that's where you'll find me as well. That's probably my most active platform. Just look for Dion Watts Williams. And in terms of what's coming up, I am launching the September cohort of the It Factor Intensive. That's my 4-week personal branding training for brilliant sisters who are just ready to stop being the best kept secret. Trying to get you all the way together with your messaging and your confidence and being able to really shine professionally. I also host a monthly LinkedIn masterclass. how to turn your LinkedIn profile into a lead magnet. That's free. And I'm hosting a live LinkedIn training here in Philly in not September. Oh, geez, in November. It's brunching and branding, but all this can be found at workwithdion.com. So thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Do you I know you're on LinkedIn, but do you share any of like the masterclass on Facebook? Like as an event or
No.
anything?
Oh, as an event, not usually.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can tell them. So just go to your page and tell them it's coming. Because
so
that's I'm just bringing it up because it's a, especially as in Black women in corporate America,
yes,
LinkedIn is the go-to, and a lot of us really need to maximize it because it's a great
yes,
tool um, for not just corporate America, but for business. But that's where they
mhm,
go look at us,
yeah. No,
especially.
LinkedIn is
So
like if
get
you if
where get onto the master
yeah.
class that Dion has, and so
Mhm.
Dion, if you can drop it in the comments,
Okay.
that would be great so that everybody can know and we can share that out because what you're doing is a bust need and it's great. So yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to put my LinkedIn address. I'm actually working on um, like a custom URL just for that masterclass because we do it every month. So my team is working on it, but I'm going to put my LinkedIn um, URL there. So if anyone wants to connect with me there, I'm usually going live there 2 or 3 days a week. I'm also pretty active on Instagram, but LinkedIn is usually my go-to platform. But yeah, LinkedIn
Gotcha.
is, don't sleep on it, y'all. I'm telling you.
I've been trying to tap into LinkedIn like that, so I am definitely interested in that class because
Yes.
I've been trying to just get more, active and get more familiar with the platform. So that master class is much needed.
No, it's and every time I say, okay, I think I'm gonna stop doing it, people are like, "Are you going to do the master class again?" So there's
Not
definitely a
yet.
need for it, and it's such an untapped market on LinkedIn. And it doesn't matter if you have a 9 to 5 or if you're an entrepreneur, like you can make some serious like gains professionally there. So I would love to connect with you all.
Yes, yes, yes.
You have
Yes.
my LinkedIn ad already, okay? I just know that you'll get it before the night is over. I'm gonna be following you on LinkedIn.
Okay. Listen, I am a
You
night
follow me.
owl. I have insomnia, so don't be freaked out if I'm like messaging you back on LinkedIn in the middle of the night. So yeah,
You don't know how many messages I get. Why you up? You need to be sleep. You
yeah,
know that sleep is a part of your medicine. I'm like, but I can't sleep. So I'm working.
yeah. And I'm a
I
creative,
sleep
so
when
that
I
brain
when the
is
face
just
off.
going.
I
Yeah,
just say,
I said I'm a
just say,
creative,
yeah,
so I can't turn it off at night. Like I just can't. When you get an idea, you got to go with it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just glad he stopped sending me prophetic messages in my sleep. Because then I gotta
Brag-
find my phone or
bragging,
something to write it there because I can't message nobody at 3 in the morning.
you
But you know what
brag.
I learned to do, y'all? And folks be creeped out. I learned how to schedule my messages. So I schedule it to be like 8 or 9 so they get it right there. And then they start talking to me thinking I'm awake. I'm asleep. I'm asleep, y'all. I'm asleep. If it come at 8, 7, 8 or 9, I'm still asleep. Just know that because I probably just went to sleep at 5. Okay. It's Lindsay round us out, and I rounded it out with you, y'all, because this is the Sisterhood Queen. She has an organization on sisterhood and some books too. So, sis, round it out for us. Let us know.
Again, this has been absolutely amazing being on here with all of you lovely ladies and learning from you all. Listen, I already told you I'm a stalker. Anyway, on Facebook, my personal Facebook page is Lencia L. Marshall. If you put my name in, I'm going to come up. My business page is Grind and Grace Experience. If the logo is black and gold, that's me. If on Instagram, it's Grind. If you put in my name or Grind and Grace Experience on Instagram, it will come up as well. My website I dropped in the comments is www.grindandgrace.info. What I have coming up, I have a retreat coming up in November, the Ground and Grace Experience. in Dubai. And I'm so excited about that one. Registration closes on Wednesday. If anybody was so interested in going, registration closes on Wednesday. And just, this is what I do, retreats every year. Next year, we're doing a cruise to Greece. And that'll be in June. So you guys definitely follow me to stay tuned for us dropping the information next month about the retreat next year. Grind and Grace is just about bringing ministry and marketplace together. I can't have one without the other. And so when I tried to separate them, the Holy Spirit would come in and wreck all my networking events. So I just found out that, what I'm saying, since he was going to come in anyway, I might as well go ahead and invite you and incorporate you in. So I am an ordained elder. So I'm also an author. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. I help people on the ministry side to be able to take that back to the marketplace. And I help people on the marketplace side be able to take that back to ministry. So, yeah, I'm excited to connect with all of you ladies and to work with you all. And hopefully y'all can go on vacation with us. Come on. I'm ready. I'm ready. And yeah, Sisterhood Over Sabotage. We'll have sessions at every retreat that's pretty much geared towards Sisterhood Over Sabotage. We've had photo shoots and all of that for Sisterhood Over Sabotage. And I don't have enough time to tell y'all how Sisterhood Over Sabotage was actually birthed, but just know from trauma comes triumph. So yeah, that's all.
Y'all done make me proud and all emotional tonight. Like, I don't even know. Like, Lord, do we need to do a part two or something? Like, God, like, whoa, Jesus. Y'all have been truly amazing. I am always grateful that anytime I ask anybody to be a part of the collab combo, that they say yes. They're like, I don't know what I'm saying yes to, but yes, And literally, it goes unhitched and literally transparent and what is needed at the time and season. So I'm grateful for all five of you ladies being a part of this time and season because it definitely is a reason. And I'm just excited for all that y'all are doing. Like, y'all are doing some phenomenal things, and y'all are phenomenal women. And I'm just grateful to have had the opportunity to um, take time and convo with you. And so, one quick thing. I did just release my fourth book project, Motivated Effort. It's a book and a guide. It's available Amazon, print and digital, audio soon because I love audiobooks, as well as my website, tanyajmiller.com. I have two more book projects coming out this year as well. And I'm just, following what God does as I jump back into, ministry and business after a 3.5 year hiatus of being bedridden. But God said, come on. And so I'm grateful uh, to be able to just fulfill my assignment and purpose with you all and with you, each one of you ladies tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. If y'all want to do a part two, y'all let me know before we kick it back to the brothers. Y'all let me know if y'all want to do a part two, and I'll come up with something and we'll go. So thank you guys. Thank y'all family, y'all tribe, everybody that joined in tonight. The conversation over here been lit. Like I've been seeing all kind of comments and like just thank you. I'm really grateful tonight. I don't know why I got emotional, but I'm trying to hold it in. But thank y'all seriously so much. And all of you ladies have a great night. Y'all be blessed. Peace.
Blessings, ladies.
Good night.
Good
Good night.
night.